My citizen involvement in the nuclear industry may have contributed to improving the safety of power plants in the United States. Late afternoon on Thursday, September 24th, I pulled into the driveway of our home in Malvern. As I got out of our car with my briefcase, Kathy, who was 10 years old, and John, who was 9-year-old, and Nancy, who was 7-year-old, ran to greet me, shouting, "Daddy, Daddy, you're famous." I wasn't sure what they were up to, but when I went to the house, Carolyn said something like, "My hero." She handed me a copy of Newsday, the Long Island newspaper. There I was on page 2, photographed above a caption, "Langevin studies his notes," along with a feature story entitled, "Talks Get Tougher at the A-Plant Hearings." I had appeared as an expert witness before the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, Safety and Licensing Board, in hearings on a proposal by the Long Island Lighting Company to build a nuclear power station in Shoreham in Suffolk County. At the time, I was working in Bethpage and had been engaged in the field of quality assurance for over 10 years. That didn't qualify me as an expert, but I did have a solid foundation in quality assurance matters pertaining to aircraft defense and manned space programs. The head of the Lloyd Howard Study Group asked if I'd be willing to evaluate the quality assurance regulations for the plant. As a citizen and resident of Long Island, I thought it would be an interesting challenge and a chance for me to make a difference. Before long, I found myself deeply immersed in studying a multitude of documents on quality assurance, criteria, program plans and requirements, atomic energy rules and regulations, standards, and guides on nuclear power plant and reactor safety. At the hearings, which were held in Rocky Point, I had the opportunity to cross-examine experts from Wilco, General Electric, and Webster Engineering. My conclusion was that the latest and most sophisticated quality assurance code for the design and configuration of the vessel that would contain a nuclear reactor was not being applied. Wilco and GE acknowledged that they were using standards set in 1965, despite the fact that a more comprehensive set of standards was available. Subsequent to the hearings, I compiled a comprehensive analysis and report with recommendations for change in atomic energy regulations and corrective action for impression. It was circulated throughout the industry and cited in the Federal Register, the National Archives of the United States. It was very gratifying on June 19, 1973, the Atomic Energy Commission announced a new regulatory procedure designed to further assure that utilities implement strong quality assurance programs for nuclear power plants, particularly at early implementation of the utilities program. The new regulatory guide was issued in 1974. I don't know how much of an impact my excursion into the nuclear world has had, but I believe that my contribution has made a difference in the quality, reliability, and safety of power plants in the United States. Thank you.